Hier in Glasgow gibt es natürlich eine ganze Menge zu tun und zu sehen. Und ich zeige euch jetzt einfach mal ein paar der Geheimspots, die man hier so entdecken kann. Wir sehen uns gleich! Hier sieht es großartig aus. Leute, das müsst ihr euch unbedingt selbst mal ansehen. Wir sind wieder zu Hause, zurück aus dem Pollock-Haus. Hallo! Mit meiner total verrückten Gastmutter. Und ja, innen drin durfte ich leider nicht filmen. Da bin ich erwischt worden. Ich habe die ersten paar Sekunden gefilmt. Und dann wurde ich darauf aufmerksam gemacht, dass man doch im Haus bitte nicht filmen solle. Das bisschen, was ich da drin gefilmt. Lautes Motorrad ist laut. Ja. Die paar Aufnahmen, die ich da drin gemacht habe, schneide ich euch natürlich ein. Aber ihr solltet euch das auf jeden Fall selbst mal antun, wenn ihr hier seid. Ich bin hier auf dem Weg zur Govan Old Church, der alten Kirche hier in Govan. Dort kann man sehr alte keltische Steine besichtigen. Für jemanden, der sich so für altertümliche Kulturen und Völker interessiert wie ich, ist das natürlich ein Ort, auf den ich mich schon sehr lange freue und schon sehr freue. Und ja, dann nehme ich euch mal mit ein, wenn ich denn darf.
church at the moment in Govan, and we think is maybe the 6th church that stood on this burial site since the 6th century. And Govan is renowned as the religious heart of the lost kingdom of Strathclyde. Strathclyde was one of the smaller kingdoms that comprised the north of Britain before Scotland was ever known as Scotland. Very little written or textual evidence remains of the people from the kingdom of Strathclyde. Really all we have is the collection of carved stones that were found in the tiny graveyard at Govan Church. We have 31 monuments, including these hogback stones. This is the largest collection of hogback stones that you'll find. So we have 5 of these, and they're made of local sandstone, which is the same material that the famous Glasgow tenement flats are made from. We do not know exactly who carved these stones. We don't have any names of the people. We can't even really be sure what the symbolism of the stones is. But a lot of the best guesses at the moment are they're called the hogbacks, with this unusual ridge shape at the back, and we think these represent roof tiles. So maybe perhaps meant to look like a Viking longhouse or banquet hall. And these would have been grave markers. There would have been bodies underneath these. And so the symbology perhaps is a house for the dead. Interestingly enough, in areas where the Vikings of the time, so 9th, 10th century, in areas where the Vikings are in complete control, so in Scandinavia you don't find monuments like this. You find them in areas where there's been Viking invasion and then assimilation into Christian cultures. So these are just some of the monuments, but perhaps my favourite is just round the corner, if you want to follow on. This is, I would say, perhaps my favourite. We believe it's from the 9th, 10th century, and it's a monolithic burial tomb. It's really beautiful. I say we found it, but I didn't find it. It was round about the 1850s. In the small graveyard outside, there were grave diggers just casually digging away, and the spade hit the corner of the tomb. And when it was exhumed, there was a great furore because nothing like this had been found before. We don't know who was buried inside. There are theories that this was the burial tomb of King Constantine from the 10th century, King of the Picts.
King Constantine?
Yes, absolutely. It's one of the theories. You can see there's the mounted warrior here with his helmet and the beard. There's the antlers here, so perhaps a deer. And then it has the Celtic interlace as well. The church, since the 6th century, has been dedicated to St. Constantine. It was the followers of St. Constantine who founded the first church here. So it maybe would have made some poetic sense for King Constantine for this to be the resting place. You can see on the other side as well, there's some imagery with the interlace here. Just at the corner, you can see a serpent's head at the top here. And the imagery of the serpent, again, open to interpretation. Perhaps the notion of the shedding of skin and renewal of life in the afterlife. But again, we don't have any textual evidence to tell us who was in here or what exactly their motives were with the carvings. There's a lot of analogies to the stones on the east of Scotland with the Pictish culture. A lot of the mounted warriors relate back to Pictish symbols. But again, the importance of the stones is kind of because we don't know. It's the only insight into the people of Strathclyde that we have. This stone here is emblematic of a bit of a tragedy that occurred here in the 1970s. A quarter of our collection was lost overnight, around about 10 stones, when the factory just beside us was being demolished. A wall caved in, and overnight, roughly a quarter of the the collection was smashed
Aw.
and lost, which is a shame.
That's really a shame.
It's yes. I'm very glad that I didn't work here when that wasn't on my watch. But yeah, if you have any other questions, please let me know. But other than that, that's kind of the spiel about the Govan stones.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Das war sehr hochinteressant und ich bedanke mich ganz herzlich bei Emma dafür, dass sie uns all das erzählt hat. Sehr freundliche Leute hier in Schottland, wie immer, das ist großartig. Ich befinde mich hier in der Drei Brauerei, der ältesten Brauerei hier in Glasgow. Nebenan befindet sich auch gleichzeitig die älteste Begräbnisstätte, der Necropolis Friedhof. Das ist der älteste Friedhof hier in Schottland. Den werden wir gleich auch nochmal besuchen und ein paar respektvolle Aufnahmen davon machen. Jetzt habe ich euch 3 Orte gezeigt, an denen ihr sozusagen die Geheimtipps von Glasgow findet. Ich hoffe, wir sehen uns bald beim nächsten Video wieder.